I think you suggested Radio WWF to Vince, and he started it, and they're doing Radio WWF.
Yeah.
And there was a segment in October of '93 where
I'm going to remember that. There was a segment in 1993, and I'm sure you have retained that information because it was a significant part of pop culture. Well, go ahead, Kenny. Kenny, got to slow down a little bit.
Thanks for setting me up there. There was a segment on that radio show where it was you and Johnny Polo and Randy Savage. And Randy Savage went in on Hulk Hogan. He talked about him being on Arsenio Hall and lying. He talked about, Hogan maybe being...
He wanted a business for himself.
Yeah. So do you remember that? What do you remember about Randy? Because Hogan was gone by this point when he did that.
I don't remember specifics, like what he was wearing or what he smelled like. I remember the overall situation. It was very uncomfortable, and I don't think that Vince called for it. I think that Savage was going to business for himself. Because generally, if Vince wanted something like that done, he'd bring his guys in and powwow. Johnny Polo needed a powwow, and Randy, just, as I remember it, now I might be wrong, still a long time ago, I think he wanted to do this for himself. What the hell are you going to say if you're right there with him? It's not a good look. So I don't recall any more than that, Kenny, on that topic. It was uncomfortable as hell, uncalled for.
You've gone over this loads of times, so I don't want to labor on it too much, but, in 1994, you get fired twice from WWF, you go back twice. 1994. And when that happened, what made you want to stay? Because, some people might say, well, you were treated badly, you were told to leave twice.
Yeah.
What made you want to stay or go back?
I love the wrestling business. And I was willing to eat the shit and put my hat in my hand and try to get back to work. It was a place to work. It was the place to work in what I did for a living. I got a lot of work. I got good things are happening. But that's what I knew. And since I was a little boy, about 8 years old, I got a piece of wood, and it was, I put 4 nails in it, and I got me some binder twine, which is just twine they use on the hay bales to hold them together. So I got this string. So I made me ring ropes, 1, 2, 3, and then I used my army men to be the wrestlers. They had this little army men. They stood in one spot. They weren't bendable. They weren't movable. They were just things. And I had wrestling matches with those guys that I got ideas for booking from reading the wrestling magazines, which I read all of them I could get, and watching wrestling on TV. So at one time, our regular TV was produced by Leroy McGurk, and then Cowboy, which improved it 1,000%. He was brilliant in his day. When he wanted to be brilliant, he was amazing. Cowboy, it was amazing. Just amazing. And so, I think my love for the business, Kenny, I guess, and maybe I was scared that I couldn't do anything else.
Do you? When that happened, the 2 times when you go back, did it in any way strengthen your relationship with Vince? Did it weaken it in any way? Do you think after that?
I think he saw that I was like a dog. You feed me and I'm coming back. Feed me and I'll hang around. I'm not telling you, a lot of this stuff's not proud stuff. I'm giving you guys the honest truth. You might as well get the honest truth for what Kenny charged you.
Whoa, wait a minute. It's very reasonable for the market share.
The great thing about working with Kenny is I don't understand about every third word he says. Don't really? What? What the man? So this girl went on and on to the restaurant last night about something I mentioned to her. She was cute too. Here's the deal: that restaurant in the Marriott by the airport. Last night, every waitress had black hair and wore it legit and wore it in a ponytail. It reminded me of that scene that Simply Irresistible. What's the guy that sang that?
Robert Palmer.
Yeah, Robert. That video. Remember the video with the three girls, all their hair pulled back, and I thought, God damn, I'm intoxicated. What the hell? That last hit on that vape pen was mighty. And I should have had that third gummy. I don't know what's wrong with me. What would be wrong? I'm serious, and they were hotter than hell. Sorry, Naomi.
Okay, the next question. So in 1995, Steve Austin is brought into WWF. Who brought him in? Who was responsible? And what did you think, knowing Steve, about the initial Ringmaster gimmick?
It sucked. Made no sense. It was boring. Had no future. Sadly, for me, as a wannabe administrator, I should never have said that to Steve. This fucking gimmick sucks, man. You're going to have to work your ass off to get this over. I don't know how you're going to do it. And an administrator shouldn't say that. I should have been rah-rah, and let's use the deal college tried and see if it works. But if you know it's dead in the water before it starts, speak up. Now, the issue is they did not have to, it's like that scene on Sopranos, didn't die. Michael Imperioli, they played Chrissy. Is there anybody else in here a Sopranos fan? Oh, it's a few of you, right? On the way over here, from Dallas to London. So I went west halfway across America to turn around and go east. Good job, Kenny. Good job, baby. I could fly to Charlotte and connect and go anywhere. It's an hour. No. 3 hours. It's crazy, yeah. So anyway, what were we talking about?
You were talking about Steve Austin being the Ringmaster. You maybe shouldn't have told him that it sucked.
Yeah, it sucked.
So, was it you that was responsible for getting Vince to bring him in? Who was responsible?
Well, I was partially responsible because here's the deal. I worked with Steve closely and even said on the air, somebody's tweeted it out a few times, that I said something on the air along the lines that I said about Rock that he's going to be he's a blue chipper. I endorsed Austin the same way while he was in WCW. Ironically enough, this guy had the clips somehow. It's amazing what some of these folks collect. So I announced it there because it came out of my heart. I believed it. I wasn't told to say it, but I believed in him from the early goings. Him being Steve, pronoun boy. I did believe in it, Kenny. He had it. He had something that was intangible. It's something you couldn't manufacture. But he had it. He gave me the feeling that he had it, and I was right on that one. He did have it.
But when you told him, you've got it, but then you also were honest with him and said, I think this gimmick sucks. Do you think he knew that Vince didn't really see much in him? Or do you think that Vince had sort of pretended to him?
No, Vince thought the deal was going to work. He wanted to get Steve over. He wanted a rugged heel, and that's what Steve always wanted to be, was a heel. To this very day, he probably just wanted to be a heel. And he could be a good heel, and he was a good heel. Heels got to be able to be believable